Nashville, Tennessee, it's Electric Gold! What beer y'all drinking tonight, boys? Electric Gold, hear the speakers explode. 3 mics, 1 couch, fresh beer so cold. Hot chicken taste, yeah, we season it bold. Oh, hell yeah, it's Electric Gold! Come on, you boys in gold.
Welcome, everyone, to Electric Gold. I'm Ryan. I'm here with Evan and John. Guys, I am running out of superlatives to describe this beautiful season of soccer that has been bestowed upon us. What a magical week for Nashville SC. I can't even get over it. How are you guys doing? How are you guys holding up this week?
I'm doing fantastic myself. Yeah, I'm running out of what do we keep talking about? Like every week we're like, oh, this is the best week ever. My God, I've never felt this good. And then we just get better. I don't even know what to talk about anymore.
Yeah, this is definitely the best week so far. But I think that the greatest is yet to come. Evan, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, ridiculously good. And I know I've said this before, boys, but I really mean it this time. I don't think I could love this team anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true.
My love just keeps growing and growing and growing. And it might get uncomfortable out in public at this point. No, seriously, it's been a great week, and we've got a lot to talk about. So let's celebrate over some beers. What do you guys say?
Sounds like a great
That's
idea.
Wonderful.
Evan, what are you drinking today?
Okay, well, today, boys, I'm having the old IPA from Good People Brewing down in Birmingham. Everybody knows this beer. This is a staple around here. Good People brew classic American beers with a Southern twist, and they also really focus on community and hospitality. This particular beer, this IPA, has a real citrusy profile, but is also really balanced nicely by the solid maltiness there. I'm drinking the Good People because I'm honoring the goodness that we have seen, particularly last night from Hany and Shaq and Max. And my God, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but I just wanted to honor that with this particular beer tonight.
Yeah, wonderful selection. A great one. John, what are you having?
We've got to celebrate just the city of Nashville by drinking the Nash IPA from Hap and Harry's Brewing right here in Nashville. Absolutely delicious IPA. It's so good. Light-bodied, sweet caramel notes. Well-pronounced tangerine is what they said it. I don't know if that means that you pronounce the word tangerine correctly or it just... Are they talking about some other pronunciation? But I don't know. At any rate, this beer, Hap and Harry's, is named after 2 friends, or like around 100 years ago in Nashville. One of them was from the Jack Daniel family, Hap Motlow, and then his friend Harry Lipman. And they filed for the first alcohol license after Prohibition was canceled way back when. And beer is kind of a tribute to their friendship all these years later. So on the can, it says, great friends, great beer, and I can't think of any greater friends to drink this great beer with than you two guys right now.
Oh, very sweet. Thank you so much, John.
Likewise.
Guys, today I am having the Grapefruit Radler from Paulaner Brewery over in Munich. You might be asking, what exactly is a Radler? Well, it's 11:30 on a Sunday, and I didn't want to go too hard in the paint just yet. So a Radler is a 50-50 mix between beer and usually a fruit-flavored soda or juice. This one, of course, being mixed with grapefruit. It was first invented in 1922 when a brewer in the Bavarian area, there was a big cycling event in that area, and he was running out of beer, and he had to make his supply last longer. So he started mixing it with fruit, like a lemon soda, so that he could make it last throughout the entirety of the event. And Radler, actually, the name Radlermaß, or that word, is German for cycler's beer. So that's where the name comes from. And of course, the Paulaner Brewery, they've been around in some form since the 1600s. And of course, they are a major sponsor of Bayern München and FC Bayern München over in Germany. And they make great beers of all sorts. And this one is refreshing. It's just a great way to celebrate an fantastic week for Nashville SC, one of the best in the history of the club. So cheers, guys. Let's get this started.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Let's dive into the week in review. what a week for Nashville SC. First, the team traveled down to Mexico City to face Club America in the CONCACAF quarterfinals. After a 0-0 draw in the first leg of the round, all the stakes were riding on this match to move on in the tournament. Of course, Club America were heavily favored entering the match in the storied Estadio Azteca, where no MLS team had ever won before. In fact, over the course of 70-plus CONCACAF matches hosted in Mexico, MLS teams had only previously found victory in 5 of them. This presented a daunting challenge for the boys in gold. A late scratch from the team roster for this game, Sam Surridge stayed home to nurse a hamstring injury, and that forced coach BJ Callaghan to start Warren Madrigal in his place up front. Alex Muyl got the start at the left wing position, and Reed Baker-Whiting got a supreme vote of confidence from the coach by getting the nod at left back. The rest of the roster was the typical starting lineup for Nashville. While they may have been heavily favored going into the match, Club America has had a relatively disappointing season thus far, entering the match with 5 wins, 5 losses, and 4 draws in Liga MX play, putting them in 6th place in their league. Nashville, of course, came into the match leading the MLS Eastern Conference. In the first half of the game, there were some close calls for Nashville, as Club America had a couple of point-blank opportunities that were foiled by some excellent goalkeeping by Brian Schwacke. Nashville managed to produce their own high-quality opportunities as well, but neither team found scoring success in the first half. In the second half, Nashville jumped out aggressively, and that approach paid off in the 51st minute. After Jason Palacios won the ball on the defensive side, Nashville quickly flipped the field. Christian Espinoza made some nifty moves on the right wing and threaded a pinpoint pass between 2 defenders to captain Hany Mukhtar, right in front of the goal. Mukhtar converted the shot, giving Nashville the 1-0 lead, and he flashed his famous salute in celebration. Club America produced some decent chances to equalize the game in the remaining time, including one moment when Schwacke reached for a cross and missed, leaving the goal wide open, but Palacios, an unsung hero in this game, stepped in at the final moment to clear the ball away before it crossed the goal line. Nashville managed to keep composure and control possession in the final minutes, fighting off any attempt by an increasingly desperate Club America to create a scoring opportunity. The whistle blew with the boys in gold triumphant, giving them a berth in the CONCACAF semifinals and collecting the first ever win by an MLS team in Estadio Azteca. Truly a historic moment for the club and the league. Despite that emotional high, the job was not done this week for Nashville SC. They still had to travel to Atlanta on Saturday to face off against Southern rival Atlanta United. Atlanta entered the match in rough shape near the bottom of the Eastern Conference, having won just once this season while losing 5 and collecting 1 draw. The team's offensive leader is Emmanuel Latte-Lath, who led the team with 7 goals in 2025, but has only scored once this season so far. 4 of Atlanta's 6 goals have come from midfielder Alexei Miranchuk, and that's about all the offensive firepower they've had in 2026. Coach Callaghan was once again without his star Sam Surridge, and so Madrigal got the start once again up top. Along with Ahmed Qasim on the left wing, Matthew Corcoran in the midfield, and Dan Lovitz at left back. The rest of the lineup was similar to the Tuesday game, and Nashville's tired legs were evident in the first half, as some not-so-sharp passing and slower runs kept Atlanta on the offensive. The United controlled possession throughout the first half and had a few strong opportunities to score. Once again, Schwacke stepped up with excellent protection in goal, keeping the game scoreless headed into halftime. Now, one might say that this game turned once Alex Muyl subbed in for Madrigal shortly into the first half. I'm not saying that. One might say that. Just 3 minutes after the Chaos Agent entered the match, Jason Palacios, similar to the Club America game, won the ball and sent Hany Mukhtar on a breakaway run down the middle of the field. Mukhtar had company as both Christian Espinoza and Ahmed Qasim flanked him. Atlanta did not have enough defenders to cover all 3. Mukhtar dropped a dime off to Espinoza on the right, and he lasered a ball into the left corner of the goal for a 1-0 Nashville lead. In stoppage time, Nashville put the game on ice. Another breakaway run for Nashville, this time initiated by a great pass down the right side by Matthew Corcoran to Espinoza, and then he found Hany Mukhtar driving right up the middle of the field. Once again, the captain lifted up his teammates, this time passing off to late-game sub Shaw Mohammed on his left. Mohammed struck a strong shot past the keeper into the goal for a 2-0 lead. Mohammed was emotional after the score, running to hug Mukhtar for his assist on Shaq's first MLS goal of his career. The game ended with another victory on the road for the boys in gold, keeping them atop the Eastern Conference with 19 points through 8 games. Atlanta sank to 14th place in the East with a lot more questions and not a lot of answers about how to turn things around. Nashville SC wasn't the only MLS team to make it to the CONCACAF semifinals. LAFC also punched their ticket with a 1-1 tie against Cruz Azul after winning 3-0 in the first leg. They will face Toluca in the semis, who easily dispatched LA Galaxy 3-0 in California and won 7-2 in aggregate. Nashville's opponent will be Tigres, who had a tough matchup against the Seattle Sounders in the quarterfinals. Tigres won the first match on their home field 2-0, but they lost big in Seattle 3-1. Though the teams tied 3-3 in aggregate, Tigres moves on due to the away goal tiebreaker. That sets up another big test of this Nashville team in a couple of weeks. And it was another busy week around the MLS as well. Vancouver continued their dominant play by thrashing Sporting Kansas City 3-0. Toronto and Austin played to a 3-3 draw. Messi magic was on display as Inter Miami beat Colorado 3-2 in Denver, and Chicago gave away 3 points on the road when an own goal in the 86th minute helped Cincinnati secure a 3-3 draw. Hugo Kuipers notched a brace in that one, by the way. New England held serve against Columbus, winning 2-1. Charlotte is looking strong with a 2-1 victory over NYCFC. Houston won on the road 1-0 versus Orlando, and Philly could only muster a draw at home versus DC United. Dallas and LA Galaxy played to a 2-2 draw, another Peter Musa brace in that one, and now he's leading the Golden Boot race with 9 goals overall. Minnesota protected home field with a 2-0 win over a languishing Portland. Real Salt Lake uncorked a scoring explosion, winning 4-2 over San Diego, and Seattle took out their CONCACAF frustrations against St. Louis, winning 4-1 with a brace from Christian Roldan. This evening, it's a clash of Western Conference heavyweights as LAFC will host surprise contender San Jose. So there you have it, guys. That's what happened this week. A lot of action around the country, but nothing was more exciting than Nashville winning down in Mexico. And we'll start there. Usually I ask you guys what's your reflection on this whole week, but I've got to know about your initial thoughts and feelings about that historic win down there against Club America. John, what do you think?
Oh, man, I was emotional, I got to tell you, because winning in the Azteca is damn near impossible for an American team. Obviously, we're the first MLS team to ever do it. I can't remember. I didn't look up the stats, but I can't remember too many times the U.S. national team has ever done it either. It may not have ever happened. So it may have been because it was 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever, but I was seriously teary. I mean, so proud of these guys. What a performance. And man, all over the field. And to get it done without Sam Surridge. I saw the messages out there, guys, when Sam's name wasn't on the team sheet. I saw people giving up on social media. And I was like, I don't think so. We're going to find a way. And that's what this team does. It finds a way. And we got it done. Once again, defense, guys. Earlier in the year, our pal and listener, NSC Jake, came up with the Music City Cerberus to describe our 3-headed attack, Sam, Hany, and Christian Espinoza. But with the help of my brother, who is a expert on all things Greek myths and whatnot, he pointed out to me that in Greek mythology, Cerberus is actually a defensive character. Cerberus is a multi-headed dog that guards the gates of the underworld to prevent the dead from leaving. And so I think possibly this might be a better description of Palacios, Walensky, Schwaki, Nahar, Lovitz, Baker Whiting, Jack Mayer, throw them all in there. That's a multi-headed dog back there. It is a beast. And they got the deeds done down in Mexico.
They were fantastic. Evan, what were your thoughts about this game?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just incredibly proud. Like you guys know, I'm not a night owl. I am a morning person. So I watched this game. I started it at about 3:30. was that Wednesday morning or whenever it was. And so by the time I went to work and at work, just sitting there kind of bleary and dazed, but just with the biggest goofy grin on my face, knowing that we had made history down there and that Hany had been the one to score that goal. I mean, just so proud, so impressed with the team from top to bottom. Again, including the roster of talent that Mike Jacobs has assembled, the balance between these two competing priorities, Champions Cup and league play, that Coach BJ Callaghan is managing. I mean, just like I said, guys, I didn't think it possible, but here I am loving this team more than ever.
Did you ever think in 2000, when we were watching this fledgling expansion team during the COVID season where there's hardly anyone in the stands at Nissan, and we were watching this team just begin, just trying to find their way. Did you ever think in 6 short years we would be talking about a team who had fought their way to the semifinals of the CONCACAF through Estadio Azteca, through one of the most legendary Mexican teams in the history of the Liga MX, and be leading the Eastern Conference on top of all of that? Did you think that you would be watching that?
I
No.
didn't think it 2 years ago when we started this podcast and we lost like 10 games in a row. I
Yeah.
did not see a way forward, but thank God Mike Jacobs did, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad we're along for the ride. There's so many great things to talk about this week. I don't know how you guys are going to do it, but it's time to hand out some all hell yes. Evan, we'll start with you. What's your all hell yeah for the week? Can you find one?
I can certainly find one that stands out, but there really are plentiful choices. But, I'm giving mine to Hany Mukhtar. I mean, what a week for this guy. In the absence of Sam down in Mexico City, him taking the team on his shoulders yet again and making it happen, finding the will to win. Just incredible to see him do his salute there at Azteca.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it just gives me chills now thinking about it. And then coming back, to the States and going down to Atlanta last night, and so unselfishly seeing another win into being. And I kind of touched on this in my initial segment, but the goodness that we saw last night in Atlanta, right? Hany, on those 2 plays, could have easily taken a shot.
Yes.
He had the numbers, he had the mojo, he could have done it. But he just saw that in the case of the first one, Christian on his right, second one, Shaq on his left, that was the better option. That was the higher percentage shot.
Yep.
He takes that ball as long as he can, draws the defenders as close to him as possible, and then lays off a perfect pass. And then, of course, the celebration from Shaq. And I don't know if you guys saw, but in Shaq's post-game interview, he was really shouting out Hany, of course, and said that Hany has been like an older brother to him since his day one in Nashville. So that's part of the emotion that we saw there, was that connection between a young player, new to town, and an established player, a team leader, a captain who has taken him under his wing and treated him like a brother since the beginning. And I mean, just all hell yeah, Hany, you are the man. You are our captain. Way to go.
Yeah, start
Here, here.
building the statue. Start making the design for it now.
Sure.
He needs one. And I'm convinced that he is a listener of the Electric Gold podcast, because just 1 week ago, we were talking about it. We're like, is he going to completely figure this out about he doesn't have to always be the man. He can just be the guy who makes the right play, who sets the team up for success. And damn it, if he didn't do that all week long, when it came to the Club America game, he had to be the hero. He had to put the cape on. He had to be in the right place at the right time, and he scored that goal. And then, of course, last night in Atlanta, it was all about setting up the teammates, and he made the right choices just over and over again to lead us to victory both times. So I don't know how you pick anybody else. I mean, there's been a lot of good to go around, but Hany, to me, absolutely is deserving of that all hell yeah. Probably if we were going to do like a lifetime all hell yeah,
Yeah.
Hany Mukhtar gets it.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
John, what about you? What's your all hell yeah for the week?
I'm going to get to it, but first I want to talk about Hany. We said this is the Espinoza era. I beg to differ. Since 2020, we are in the Hany Mukhtar era, and we're still in it right now.
Yeah.
But we're in the Hany and Christian Espinoza era. Those two are forming a psychic link. All three of the goals that we scored this week, the two of them combined on, and it is a joy to see those guys figuring it out. Two talents, two guys who have carried their teams for the whole decade, and now they're figuring out how to make each other better. Chills down the spine.
Yeah. How lucky are we?
I know, right? We are lucky. And speaking of chills down the spine, Shaw Mohammed, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have had a whole season of highlights. We have had a whole season of moments. That was the cake for me, man. Seeing that guy celebrate, and he said, "Thank you, bro," when he hugged Hany.
Uh-huh.
Man, that's as good as soccer gets. And Shaw Mohammed, he's earned this shot. This kid is playing out of his mind this season. This was his first MLS game for Nashville. He only played in 4 games ever for Orlando in the last 3 years. But he has been scoring goals, banging them in MLS Next Pro. He had double digits with Orlando's B team both of the last 2 seasons. And so far, he's got 3 goals in 3 games for Huntsville this year. So he's earned a shot. And we saw last night, this guy could be a real contributor, I feel, because he not only did he score, he damn near scored another one.
Right.
In
Right.
injury time, you know? I just think as a late game changer, Shaw Mohammed might be that guy. And obviously the guys all have taken to him as a young guy. Not only Hany doing the celebration, but at the end of the game, Maxwell, great celebration. It's all over the social media. Seeing 2 guys that were both born in Ghana, you know they've got a connection off the field. So, and just seeing that, man, Shaw Mohammed, this guy has a hell of a career ahead of him, I feel. I just like what I see of him. One game he's played for us, he had an assist. It was in the second Ottawa game. So, oh, hell yeah, Shaw Mohammed, you have earned this chance. And I want to give a side hell yeah to BJ Callaghan for playing him in the first place.
Yeah.
Because out of all the difference that has been made between the BJ Callaghan era and the Gary Smith era of Nashville SC, this is my favorite. BJ gives these young guys a chance. That was always my complaint with Gary. We had some young talent at times. John Cadiz, he was up and down, but Gary was so quick to pull him. And we had Pinheiro, remember that guy? A talented young guy. We saw like 5-10 minutes of him, maybe. And now BJ Callaghan, he's not scared to play these young guys at all. He trusts them, Corcoran, Reed Baker Whiting, you name it. And he just sticks them in at the Azteca, you know? Who cares?
Right.
He trusts
Right.
these guys, and the trust is paid off. So aside, all hell yeah, to BJ Callaghan for giving Shaq his chance in the first place. But Shaq, you earned this chance. Keep playing this way, and 10 years from now, you might be the veteran setting up a rookie with his first goal.
Can I give a side, oh hell yeah, to your side, oh
Yeah.
hell yeah, on that? Because
Oh, yeah.
this just occurred to me, but it's been, a few years, but I used to gripe all the time about Gary Smith subbing late in games. He wouldn't usually start subbing until about 75 or 80 minutes. And
Yes.
Coach Callahan does not do that. He does the more traditional 55, 60 minutes starting in the subs. And that gives these guys time to get into the game, find the flow of the game, and really make an impact. So there you go.
He's an excellent coach, and I'm so glad that we have him. Oh my gosh. And ever since he joined Nashville SC, that's really the beginning of this turnaround from where we were 2 years ago, as you're talking about, John, to
Yeah.
where we are now at the top of the table and the semis of CONCACAF, and who knows what else is ahead of us. So, yeah, BJ deserves some serious praise for the guidance he's given to this team. And I agree with all points that playing the youngsters, it begs the question, does this mean that maybe Mohammed's going to get some of the minutes that were previously allocated to Wubens Pacius? Are we going to see that maybe, what do you guys think?
Possibly. Wubens is more that number 9, the central guy, where Shaq tends to play on the wings.
Okay.
So instead, he might take some of the minutes from Qasim or Madrigal.
Yeah,
It's good to have this competition, as
totally.
improved as Qasim and Madrigal have been the last few games. Still, the more competition, the better. And I think Shaq can really change a game late on.
His speed seemed pretty impressive, and I like seeing those young guys mixed in with the veterans, with the stars, so that they have that really adequate support. When it's all of the young guys out there at the same time, that's a little bit weak in terms of like the gameplay. But when it's just one of them out there on a line with the rest of the veterans, they're able to be held up, and if they make mistakes and stuff, that's covered up by the veteran play. And also the veterans can serve up better passes to them and set them up in better situations for success. Are we doing all hell no?
What? Why would we?
We're not doing all hell no.
What on earth?
Screw that.
What could there possibly be to complain about?
I'm not complaining about one thing this week. Let's move on. Let's do our new segment. We started it last week. This is the Glory Music City Song of the Week. Evan, it was your turn to choose a song of the week, and you chose a dandy. Tell us what you got.
Well, thank you, man. I chose Good as Gold by Moon Taxi, and the reason why particularly was the lyrical theme highlighted by that one line early in the song, Eyes on the Prize. And that has been such an important part of what Coach Callaghan has been doing this season. We said early on, he set an expectation for the entire organization this year to be elite. And that's eyes on the prize, because it is so incredibly difficult to win a championship, an MLS Cup, a CONCACAF Champions Cup, whatever. It's so difficult. You have to have your eyes on the prize for so long. And in some of the post-game reporting from the Club America match, I think it was Coach Callaghan who said that the boys celebrated that victory in the locker room afterwards, and rightfully so. But by the time they were back on the plane, it was back to business. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah.
And you might, in another situation, think that was a little bit far-fetched, or maybe that was a little bit of spin, but I actually believe it. I believe that Hany and whoever else on that plane were just like, hey, it was great, but this is nothing. This is just one step in the road to what we are trying to achieve. And so that's why I chose this song, Eyes on the Prize, boys.
I love that. John, what were your thoughts on this song that Evan chose?
I loved it, man. I had never heard of Moon Taxi before. And I really should have doing my research on them, because these guys, first of all, they formed at Belmont, and my brother went to Belmont, so I've always got a soft spot for any Bruins. And looking it up, the song was inspired apparently by the 2017 Predators run to the Stanley Cup final.
That's right.
And so I'm telling you, the lyrics fit us just as well. We're hopefully on the way to glory, like that Preds team was, and hopefully we'll take it one step further than that team. Fucking Sidney Crosby is not in our way, so we've got we've got every chance. And I love the song. It was really fun, kind of that electro pop, almost a jock jam. I liked it. It kind of reminded me of maybe like TV on the radio or Block Party or something like that. So yeah, I was digging it, man. I've been playing it all morning, bumping it. Fun song, Evan. I really enjoyed it.
Oh man, great, thanks.
I thought the same thing. I can't stop listening to it. It's such a good song.
And it should be played at Geodis, man.
This is what we were saying in our text messages. It's like, why has this song not been chosen to play at the stadium? This is perfect. I mean, it's saying good as gold. It's talking about we're going to burn up the minutes. We're going to blow out the fuse. Can you imagine the stadium all coming together and cheering, hey, 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 now we're looking good as gold? I mean, this is like tailor-made to be played in our sports stadium. This is just, I don't even get why. Who is doing this? Like, it's almost an all hell no to the people at Geodis Park for not playing this song. I was familiar with Moon Taxi before. I had no idea they were actually a local band, though. Where have I been? But yeah, like you said, formed at Belmont. This song came out in 2018 on their album, Let the Record Play. It was great choice and inspiring, and I just want to listen to it all season long now. I mean, I just want to play it before, during, and after every game, because I think it is so appropriate and fitting.
Nice. Here's what a crystal ball real quick. Moon Taxi, halftime at Geodis Park, MLS Cup final.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Love it.
Now we're talking. So, as always, check our Spotify playlist for season 3 of Electric Gold. You'll find this song on there, along with all of the other Glory Music City songs of the week that we select throughout the season. You make sure you're following us on Spotify to see all that good stuff. So, great choice, Evan. Thanks for doing that one. Now let's move on. It's time to get spicy. It's time to get hot. It's time to burn some people. It's time for the Nashville Hot Chicken Takes.
My hot chicken take is that these owners got skills to shake. Entertain the crowd and get on the field. 'Cause why the fuck not?
And so, John, we'll start with you. What is your hot take for this week?
It's not going to sound like a hot take at first, but wait for it.
Okay. It's the slow burn.
It's a slow burn. It's just like Nashville hot chicken, right?
That's right.
All right, boys. We are going to play LAFC in the CONCACAF Champions Cup final.
That's pretty spicy on its own.
Yeah.
pretty
Oh, just
spicy.
you wait. Oh, just you wait. That won't be the only cup final we play against them this year. There's the spice.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
This has the makings of a great rivalry. These are two great teams, and they've
Yeah.
clearly been the class of MLS and North America so far. LAFC is impressive as all hell. I watched their second leg against Cruz Azul. Just like we did, they didn't seem overly bothered by the environment of playing in Mexico. And, they've been rolling in the league too. I can't wait to watch their game at San Jose tonight because San Jose have been really good so far too. That should be a barn burner. But yeah, I just think these two are the class of MLS, and I don't know if it'll be MLS Cup final, maybe Leagues Cup, maybe all three. God damn it! Yeah, I'll just throw it out there. Maybe 3 cup finals against this team this year because these two teams are just that good and just that far ahead in the league for me.
Wow. Wouldn't that be fun? Like the trilogy.
Yeah. And
That's
what's
some
really fun?
sweet spice right there.
Yeah, we play them in MLS play on May 17th.
Yeah.
And if we
coming up
do
soon.
play them in that CONCACAF Cup final, it will be the next weekend. I think the 23rd or the 24th,
wow.
one of those. Yep. So get ready, guys. It's just going to happen. And it's going to be awesome.
We're going to see a whole lot of LAFC coming up. You really think so? No Mexican teams in the CONCACAF final. Wow.
I think I just feel that way. Toluca is the one that gives me pause more than Tigres. I've watched Tigres. They are a very good attacking team, but they have some defensive weaknesses, and I'm really hoping we can take advantage of them. I'm sure we'll get into that next week ahead of the game, but Toluca is a beast. So that LAFC Toluca matchup is going to be spicy as all get out.
Tigres is only 1 slot ahead of Club America and Liga right now, so it's not a lot of difference between those two teams in terms of like the standings. They might have a little bit better makeup of team, but yeah, it's nothing that Nashville can't hang with. I truly believe that now.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Evan, you got a hot take for us?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a shot, boys. That one of John's, though, is still burning my mouth here. So I'll just
Drink some milk.
Yeah, right. Here's mine for the day, guys. I think the Southern Championship belt is already ours.
Yes.
I mean, you might as well go ahead and hand it back over. With away wins at Charlotte and Atlanta, it's pretty much over at this point. DC and Atlanta only have 1 point so far in this little competition to our 6. I've already told you, boys, we're not going to lose a league home match this season, so there's at least 1 point per game there in all those matchups. Might as well just go ahead and bring it on. Just give it to us, Charlotte. I believe Charlotte is the current holders. They've won it the last 2 years. The previous 2 years, I believe we won it. But it's coming back to where it rightfully belongs. There's your hot chicken take for the day, boys. The Southern Championship belt is already ours.
It's coming home where it belongs.
Love it. Right.
Yeah, I love that too. Of course, we have Charlotte coming up. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. Man, Nashville, just like, I don't know what to say, guys. I'm out of words. All right. Well, hell, what's next? Are we looking around the league now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Where we're
Let's
at?
just look around the league.
Let's
At
look
these
around.
other peons that we are better than.
Let's do it. This is keeping your enemies closer. All right, so guys, heard earlier about what's going on around the MLS this past week. Did anything stand out to you of significance, anything of note that you wanted to call out, Evan?
Yeah, I was kind of particularly looking at the Cincinnati and Chicago match. This one was, of course, played in Cincinnati at TQL Stadium. It was a gritty match that resulted in a 3-3 draw. I think what stands out is how Cincinnati overcame a 2-goal deficit towards the end of the game, last 15 or 20 minutes, considering stoppage time. Big performance by their star Evander. He contributed to all 3 Cincinnati goals, one of those being his own and the first goal he scored this season. So if Evander gets going, then Cincinnati gets going. So we need to keep our eyes on that for sure. Also, it's the first time in 4 matches that Cincy hasn't had a red card. So good job, I guess, there for Chicago. Like you mentioned at the top of the show, Ryan, Hugo Kuipers had 2 goals, bringing his season total to 6, which, of course, is just one behind Super Sam. Another thing we might keep an eye on. And as we talked about last week, we always want our conference foes when they're playing each other to tie.
Yes.
So, the fact that they did just adds one more, like a cherry on top to this stellar week for the boys in gold.
Cincinnati in 10th place in the East right now.
Mhm.
Only 8 points on the table. That's 11 points behind Nashville, in case you need me to do the math for you. Just like to point out that, Cincy not having a good year so far. Only 2 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws. Where you at, Cincy? We're way up here at the top. We thought you'd be here with us. You're not here. Where you at?
You could almost say Cincinnati in the middle, and we'll burn the fucking lot.
Absolutely. John, when you saw what happened over the course of the weekend, what were your thoughts about the greater MLS?
I had an eye on our next opponent, of course, in a match that I was hoping for a draw, but it did not result in a draw. Charlotte won 2-1 at NYC FC, and I watched the highlights from it. Charlotte was the second best team, I gotta say.
Wow.
NYC had the better of play throughout to me. They had a lot of chances, but Charlotte's keeper, Christian Kalina, who won Keeper of the Year 2 years ago, and according to the Charlotte fans that we talked to me and Ryan talked to on the podcast, should have won it last year too. He was man of the match. He made 7 or 8 saves, a lot of really good athletic ones. Tuklamati and Vargas scored for Charlotte, kind of against the run of play, kind of counterattacks. And so they were leading 2-0. NYC did score a banger of a goal in the 92nd minute. Fernandez scored one from far outside the box, but it wasn't enough. And Charlotte, we're going to go against them next week. They are 3rd in the East after this match, and NYC drops to 7th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So would have hoped for a draw. Didn't work out that way, but Charlotte is actually really, really formidable team. So we've got to keep our eyes on the prize, as Moon Taxi said.
Yeah, we can't take anybody for granted. And just because we beat them a couple of weeks ago, that means nothing. We have to approach each game with the right mentality and be professional about it. I'm just looking at the stats to that NYC and Charlotte game, John, and you're not wrong. New York City had 57% of possession. They took 23 shots to Charlotte's 8.
Yeah.
They had 8 on target to Charlotte's 5. They had double the number of passes. I mean, it's just like expected goals. They had 2.7 to Charlotte's 0.6. So every metric indicates that New York City really dominated that game, and Charlotte got a little bit lucky. Charlotte got a second goal in the 90th minute, and then New York City got their only goal in the 92nd minute. But this was a much closer game than any of that is showing. So I'm looking forward to them coming in. And I guess with that in mind, why don't we look ahead? Let's do the week in preview. It'll be a much more pleasant week for the boys in gold. There's no CONCACAF games to juggle. There's no travel. They get to return home to Geodis Park for their first MLS game in Nashville in a month. They'll be hosting Charlotte FC, who are sitting in 3rd place in the East with 4 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, and a goal differential of +5. Of course, one of those losses came at the hands of Nashville just a couple of weeks ago when the team fielded a heavily rotated side in Charlotte's Bank of America Stadium. Nashville looked confident and even dominant in that performance with an incredible midfield performance. Both Eddie Tagseth and Patrick Yazbek scored to grab the victory on the road. Charlotte will be looking for the revenge, and they'll once again be led by midfielder Pep Biel, who has 7 goal contributions this season. And they'll also have their dynamic scorer Wilfred Zaha, who was suspended from the first match due to yellow card accumulation. Charlotte's a worthy foe, having won 6-0 in their Open Cup game this week against the Charlotte Independents, and they also beat NYC FC 2-1 on the road, as we just mentioned. Nashville will have a more rested group than the first time the teams clashed, but they will still have to bring their A game in order to secure victory and protect home field. And so with that, guys, it's time to get some predictions on the books, what you think is going to happen. Let's break out the crystal balls, y'all. All right, so John, is your ball warmed up?
Oh, it's warm, baby. It is warm. All right, guys. Charlotte comes to town. We beat them 2 weeks ago, so we're familiar with them. They're a pretty good team, but they're not that good. Not good enough to win at Geodis Park, guys. 4-1 NSC. I'm calling it. We're going to whoop them.
Wow.
And like Evan was saying, that Southern Belt's going to be pretty much ours. Just go ahead and give it to us after this game. I don't know. I hate to get so cocky, but damn, this team is so good, especially at home. Geodis Park, we're the 12th man.
Yeah.
Even with 11 on 11, it's not even fair, right? We're just that good. No, I'm kidding you. I think it will be a close game, and then we'll blow it open in the end. I think 4 goals. I see Christian Espinoza, Hany Mukhtar with 2 goals, and hopefully Sam Surridge is back healthy, and we'll get the 4th. So, yeah, our tri-headed attack is going to have a feast upon the Charlotte FC.
Locking up the Southern Belt in April. I like that.
Yeah.
Evan, what does your crystal ball have to say?
Okay, well, let's take a look at it here, and as the images within it materialize, what I see is, a good team in Charlotte coming to town. But guys, we're a great team, and we have shown all season long that we have elevated, and we are no longer a team that just good enough maybe to hope for a draw on the road, and we are also not a team that falls into these trap type games like this upcoming game might have been in the past, where we're riding high and a team comes to town and we take them for granted. Not this team. Eyes on the prize. We're going to come out. We're going to press high. We're going to dominate Charlotte, and we're going to win. And these goals are coming from Woobens Pastius, Ahmed Qasim, and Daniel Lovitz.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm going to guess that we are going to rotate heavily in anticipation of the Tigres match. Do you guys disagree? What do you see in your crystal balls in terms of the rotation for Saturday night?
I could see some rotation, but I think he'll play most of the starting. To me, I know the first game against Tigre. If we were traveling to Mexico, I'd say more rotation, but with it being at home, just a little bit. I mean, I'm sure if we do get a lead against Charlotte, maybe we'd be quicker to pull out Hany Mukhtar or Espinoza or somebody, and maybe with Surge coming off the injury, maybe we're more cautious with him, and maybe don't start him. But overall, I think it'll be at least a minus team. There'll be a little bit of rotation, but some starters thrown in there.
Okay.
And we know Maxwell's playing, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be there. I think that you're probably going to see Alex Moyle start, and you'll probably, maybe Espinoza comes off the bench or something like that. But I still think you're going to get a heavy dose of good stuff, I guess. Yazbek will probably start this game, I think, because he came off the bench in Atlanta, so he'll probably start this one. And, it really, from what I've seen the past few weeks, doesn't matter because our bench players are fantastic, and we've
Yeah.
got some real depth at this team. And
I trust
so,
them all. I trust
yeah.
them all.
Exactly. So I think you guys have some pretty good predictions there. It should be an exciting weekend, and I cannot wait to see what happens. And I plan to be there, and I hope you will too. All right, guys, I guess that's about it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You guys
Yeah.
what you seen any good movies lately or anything you want to talk about?
Let's just talk about that because there's no negatives we can talk about. I mean,
No, not really.
yeah, it would just be drawing it out, really.
Okay, well, let's wrap things up. Before we go, though, we'd love getting feedback from people online on social media. And we also, again, as we've mentioned before, we're collecting nominations for the Electric Gold Underdog Hall of Fame. So if you've got any underdogs from any aspect of life, from pop culture, whatever, that you want to submit for our Hall of Fame later this year, we'll be doing the inductees. And so if you've got a nomination, you got to reach out and share it with us. John, how do people communicate with us online?
Yeah, we are Electric Gold NSC. We are on X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube.
Wow.
You can
That's a
reach
lot of
out to us.
stuff.
Lots of ways to talk to us.
There's really no excuse.
There's really no excuse. I've had a lot of great discussions with fans the last week or so. And especially, I want to give a little shout out to all the people, all the Nashville people that were down in Atlanta last night. I heard you guys louder than I heard the Atlanta. There weren't that many Atlanta fans in the stands. They've pretty much written this team off. But we represented well down there. I saw a bunch of our people from all the supporters groups or just independent people. I couldn't be prouder of Nashville fans making a trip because that's not easy. I can't ever make a trip. I've got a young family and I just ain't that rich, So, yeah, I just want to give a shout out to those fans. Thank you all for listening and reaching out to us. And yes, we did start the season 3 Spotify playlist. I got it started last week. So, yeah, all these awesome Glory Music City jams that we are talking about, pump them up, pump them up.
Yeah, it's a great pregame ritual to get you pumped up and ready for the game. And speaking of that, folks, this team is riding high, and we can't let our eyes off of the prize just yet. So keep on cheering on the team. Keep on wearing the jerseys. Keep coming to the games. Keep listening to Moon Taxi. And, of course, keep on saying it. Come on, you boys in gold.
Come on, you boys in gold.
On you, boys and gold.